think I'd try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. It's the right time, I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through, get you out of your comfort zone, 'cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. It's the right time, I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. Don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. We'll turn this around. Don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. We'll turn this around.
Thanks for tuning in to Geeksvana's Drone News Live. Get involved live with your comments and opinions. Your views count.
Did you miss us? Ladies and gentlemen,
That's not working tonight for some reason. I'm having a little dance to the intro music, people. Let me off. Hi everyone, welcome to the Drone Show on Geeksvana Live. It is great to see everybody who is here in the chat already. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us on what's becoming the Thursday night of drone shows with, of course, ourselves, and then Thursday Night Live later on with Ken Heron. Just very quickly before we move on and speak to our guests, I'm going to say hello to a few people in the chat. Hi Agent K, good to see you. El Smeghead, Andy, Herman, Phantom Flight 101, hello, MB Moore, good to see you. Capture Life Connection, Runner Bean. There's so many regulars here tonight. I know there'll also be some people here who are here to see Dan and Liz as well. So Jonathan Andrews, good to see you as well. FPV Skittles, that is Dan, one of our guests. Ian, hi. Philip Kashat, Desmond Donders, hi. Darren Eleanor, Brody Hugar, nice to see you, Brody. So yes, it's really great to see everybody. Paul Murray, hi. Tonight we're going to be covering a bit of a wide section of subjects. First up, we've got some guests joining myself and Lib, Dan and Liz from IGOW, the International Game of Whoop. Then we'll be following on to have some viewer videos, the usual fun that we have. Obviously, I'll be hilarious and you'll just have to put up with Lib. She's not funny, I tell her that every week, but just bear with me, okay? We'll then be moving on and having our second guest. If you remember, our last live stream crashed completely once we tried to get El Smeghead Andy on from his back garden, trying to reenact his Spanish holiday, which of course he couldn't go on because of COVID-19. Well, we've got him back tonight. He's actually in quarantine in a hotel room for 7 days because he's moved slightly for a new job, but he's actually crossed a border, so he's having to quarantine before he can do that. And we've got all sorts of fun stuff coming up this evening, but let's get across and say hi to Lib and our guests. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Great to see you all. Lib, if you could just chat for 1 second, because I've just noticed I've got the wrong chat in this particular browser. So I'm just going to
I
change.
don't want to talk to you now after the comment you made.
Oh, I'm sorry. Infighting. Okay. I do have the delete button here for your screen. No, I'm joking. Okay. Well, tonight we're joined by Dan and Liz, who are, I believe you're the founders of IGOW, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. I made up the game with a couple of my friends, and me and my wife Liz host it. Like we do the live streams.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, this was actually sent in to me by Mike Brennan, who's one of our regular viewers, who I've no doubt will be popping in this evening at some point. He just sent it across to me. He knows I'm a camera drone guy, but he said, "Hey, this is such a different idea. It's so innovative because it's not just all about huge channels and this type of thing. It's a real community spirited thing, and they're just about to move on to their second season." And he sent me a few links, and I have to say I started to get a little bit hooked. I really, really love the concept. Could you explain to us what the International Game of Whoop is?
Yeah. So first we'll start with like basically the difference between a camera drone and an FPV drone. So a camera drone, you fly with a controller, and your screen is normally like your phone or something attached to the controller that you just look at to line up your shot and make sure that your framing is good. But with the FPV drone, most of the things that you see people flying are something like this, a bigger drone. It's similar to the size of like a Mavic or something, and they normally have like a GoPro or something that you put on top that they end up showing the video in, so it looks nice in HD. But the video that they're actually flying with comes from the secondary camera here, which is the FPV view. That stands for first person view. And you fly around the drone with goggles like this that are actually on your eyes. And so you're seeing what the drone is seeing while you're flying around. And then a whoop is just, instead of the full size drone like this, because this, you need a lot more room to fly something like that around, right?
Absolutely.
Obviously, like a picture drone, you don't want to get close to the propellers. They'd cut you, or really bad if they hit you, something like that. But a whoop is a drone that has a frame where the propellers are completely enclosed in ducts. So if it crashed into you, it's about 20 grams, so it weighs almost nothing, and the propellers are protected, so it's a lot safer to fly inside and around people.
Excellent.
And that's what we're using for this game. That's a whoop is a generic term, kind of like Kleenex has
Yes.
become generic for tissue. Tiny Whoop is the brand name of a certain type of drones that are about this size, but Whoop has just been generic for any drone now, even that has full ducts on it. So something like this is a little bigger compared to the typical tiny Whoop, but still called a Whoop because the propellers are fully encased in
Excellent. So it's a little bit, as you say, like the when people think of search engines, they say Google these days rather than I'm going to look that up on a search engine. They exactly. So that's fantastic.
Like Whoop has even come to mean like the bigger drones that someone like Nurk flies with the DJI on it, and he also has a GoPro on it, and it's just called a Whoop because even though it's almost as big as one of the larger drones, it still has the ducts around the outside.
And that's really fascinating.
They call that a Cinewhoop.
Ah, that's the Cinewhoop. So the Cinewhoops have the better camera on them, basically. But as you say, they're not the fully open FPV blades. They've still got the ducts on them. That's absolutely fascinating. Thank you. That's
he uses his to like film all the like commercials and those type of jobs where he's inside flying around an area.
Yeah, I mean, some of the footage that I've seen recently that have been captured by Cinewhoop is just incredible, isn't it? The technology is really, really leaping forward at the moment and really starting to give camera drones a very worrying look over the shoulder, as it were. So as we see these little things, because there's something about the swooping pictures that they can get, especially over things like crops and as you say, indoors, being able to fly that fast indoors. And yes, you're going to break things if you crash, but they're not going to get nearly the damage of an FPV or a Mavic 2 Pro or something hitting a classic car or something like that.
How do you compare the sensation of flying with a camera, separate kind of device, if you like, compared to like having it, essentially experiencing it firsthand? How do you compare the two?
So flying a camera drone is like we call that line of sight flying, because most of the time you're looking at the drone with your eyes, and you're like maneuvering it based on like how you know its position. It's much different when you're only looking at the view that the drone has,
Yeah.
because you don't feel like, you lose the sensation of where you're standing. And like a lot of people, you'll see they like kind of tilt as they move around when they're flying, because it's really like you're in the drone. And I think that's part of what's so fun about the Whoop, like that you feel like you're so small and you can go around
like
wherever.
VR.
Yeah, under chairs and through tiny things that is super fun to fly through. And
That's
you get a
excellent.
perspective that you'd never get otherwise. And
So
that's what hooked me on it.
I'm not surprised.
I hadn't ever heard of FPV until I saw a YouTube video, and when I was flying picture drones, and I was like, "Whoa, what are they doing?" And then I like went down the rabbit hole.
Disappeared.
I imagine it would be easy too, though, because the escapism that would provide you would be like next to none, really, wouldn't it? I can imagine how that feels, how amazing that must feel to be able to feel like you're flying and experiencing things firsthand, as opposed to looking at a device, which we all do every day. So it's become second nature essentially now, isn't it?
Exactly, and there is a risk reward there as well, isn't there? Because as I was saying, with the cine whoops and then smaller, you're not going to cause as much damage crashing one of those things.
No,
so actually, you can take a little bit more risk and have a little bit more fun with those, which is incredible. So the international game of Whoop has already had its first season, and you're now about to move on to the second season. And as I understand it, is it a weekly contest where you will basically be given a trick to do, and you send in your video of you completing that trick?
So it functions sort of like horse or skate, if you've ever played those type of games, except that you normally play that live and you all get in a line and you do the tricks in a row. So this one's set up so that it works over the internet, social media, and each week we put out a video, and there's a challenge or a trick that they have to do, and then everyone has the week to attempt to do that trick. And you record on your goggles the view that you see. Fantastic. And then you make a little video and send it in of you doing the trick. And if you complete it, then you avoid a letter. And if you aren't able to complete it, or you miss the week, or for whatever reason, you get a letter. And then just like the horse or skate game, once you've got 5 letters, you get knocked out.
And then you're gone.
Yeah,
and then it's waiting for season 3.
So these are all done. You have to have the ducks, because some of the tricks are like flying around your legs or inside houses and stuff, and we don't want people to,
of course,
hurt themselves, obviously.
But not only do you need the ducks, we've actually, because as he mentioned before, you can use technically larger drones and still be called a Whoop. Yeah. Because it is fully ducted. We also have a size limit, so it's an 85 millimeter max, which is this size.
Excellent.
And a 2S battery max. Yeah. So that way you can't come in with like this fully powered 4S like Cinewhoop and just be destroying things.
Fantastic.
Depends on how much experience you've got, whether you destroy stuff or not.
Indeed. We have a few videos to show on this evening. The first one I'll play out to the audience is from one of the entries to one of the weeks, which was to dive a building. And this was what impressed me, especially when you bear in mind the size of the drone. I think this video is absolutely fantastic. So we'll just we'll play this out and come back and have a chat about it. With one of those, crikey. absolutely fantastic. And I've dropped a link to Carp's channel in there, as well as the Google Doc with all of the rules, etc. So you can find more out about the intricacies of the competition as well. But that was extreme with such a small drone.
Yeah, I think that building was like 700 or 800 feet. We had one person in New York go up to the top of a 1,300-foot building, but he lost his drone.
Oh, no way.
Too much wind.
He almost deserves to win just for that risk, doesn't he? 1,300.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That can happen.
No, exactly.
Right.
which is
have any GPS that when you disconnect, it comes back and lands for you. It just falls out of the sky.
Oh yeah, I mean these things are fully manual flight, aren't they? So you are actually flying these things, and Lib, that's one difference actually with, as you know, with camera drones. When I let go of my controller because I'm a little bit frightened that my camera drone, it just stops. Yeah. And I've got a little button that says return to home, and it will fly back, and it should land within a couple of feet.
So many drones then doing what you guys do.
Yeah.
Because half the time, like no, can't do it anymore, and I let go, and that would be gone.
Yeah. It would just drop out of the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be very good at finding it. So okay, this is again with Carp's channel there. He's got 66 subscribers. He's a small channel. He's a really skillful pilot, and I love the fact that you've already got such a strong community around you, and the people who are entering are just us norms, as it were, and it has such a great feel to it. So congratulations on starting something and pushing something through. You have some sort of official recognition from the point of view that the winner gets something to do with the official Tiny Whoop people, is that right?
Yeah. Jesse Perkins, the owner of Tiny Whoop and the creator of Tiny Whoop, is like a judge, and he'll watch some of the live streams with us.
Fantastic.
And for the winner of the first season, he took the winners, Steve K, and made him a official Tiny Whoop team pilot. It's like a sponsored pilot.
That's amazing.
And so then we basically put out that the winner of season 2 will also get to be a Tiny Whoop team pilot. And of course, that's pending that you're like a decent person that can represent the community.
Yes, indeed. There are certain conditions apply, shall we say?
Pretty low requirements, but
yeah, but still, we have to have some standards in there somewhere. Okay,
and then we have a bunch of prizes of different drones from the companies that are the sponsors that go to the other top winners.
Absolutely fantastic.
So there's prizes for every week too. So
wow. That's just absolutely crazy, and I know people that in viewers in the audience are always talking to me about these little tiny whoops that they practice with, etc., that keeps their skills, especially manual skills, up. So I hope a few of you will go and check out that FPV Skittles channel, which is in the chat, and also the Google Doc to find out more about that. I'm going to play another clip from the compilation that you very kindly sent us, just a short clip from that, which is another one of the this was for orbits, wasn't it? But didn't they have to complete 2 orbits? Is that right?
So this was the first week of last season.
Wow.
And we had over 100 people join. So I did something where orbit is just like you do with a picture drone. It does it manually, but it's kind of a little bit of a skill, a basic trick for FPV to keep your nose pointed in. And I just took everyone's videos and made the seem kind of like a continuous orbit with the subject switching.
Exactly. And one of the things I love about this video as everyone's watching it is if you keep on out on the bottom right, it will show you where some of the countries that these people are flying from, which is absolutely fantastic. And again, some of the things that they chose to orbit are pretty cool. So let's have a look at this.
Let's have a look.
I know the reason why we chose to say goodbye, but I can't help my feelings. Right now, I can't deny you never left my mind, and now my heart is bleeding. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was just a young girl living in a dream world. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't lay down at night. I miss you by my side, telling me about your secrets. I dream and fantasize that I come by your house, telling you about my regrets. Why did I have to break it up? Guess I was way too shallow, my mind was way too narrow. I thought that I'd be better off, but now I pay the price. I do. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways. I know why we say goodbye, but can we turn that bye into hello? I know how to love you now. No matter what I do, I can't let go. I don't know how to forget you. I can't forget you. You're always on my mind. I do the things that I should do, so I can't forget, but you're always on my mind. Thought you'd be gone by tomorrow, but you're still there tomorrow, and the next day, the next day. I wish I wouldn't remember how you make me feel better in the best ways, the best ways.
All links needed are in the description below.
I feel the exact same way. I'm the exact same way. The first time I bought him the drone and it was like shooting up and down and around the living room, I was like, other than destroy my stuff, I don't see what bonus
Right?
this is. Until we went
I didn't
outside.
understand it at all. And then we began IGOW, and I sat here week after week watching these videos and watching just the amazing things that you could do with them and how much fun they were. And then I was like, all right, okay, I'm going to give it a try. And I had a drone for a year that he had built me. That just sat there for like a year because I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, such a great Christmas present. Yay. Perfume would have been good, but sure, why not?
Yeah, sure. A drone. Thanks.
And now for like the last, it's been what, like 8 months now, 9 months. I love it.
Fantastic. But again, I can't stress how much of a fantastic thing it is to see a community growing around you. There were people there from all over the world, Europe, everywhere, and it's just so great to see everyone really embracing IGOW. And it's going to be something we're going to watch very closely here at Geeksvana, and you know, we are very interested to see how far it goes, and hopefully in season 10 we'll see you on telly or something. Frankly, DRL, get DRL out the way.
Right.
IGOW's coming, frankly. It's
new sports, racing is always the first thing that becomes mainstream, and then the freestyle or more artistic type versions of the sports come in later.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it'll go with drone racing.
Now, have one more clip to quickly play out, which is actually from Steve K, and he was the winner of season 1, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
So he is a tiny whoop pilot.
This got to the real quick to set this up. Me or the other judges made up all the tricks for the first 30-something weeks.
Excellent.
And then once we got down to the final 4, since we had 4 grand prizes, and I didn't think I could make anything up that they couldn't do, I switched it to where it's more like a normal game. The player would make up the trick, and then the other remaining players would have to attempt the trick that they made up.
Fantastic
and if all
idea.
The other players were able to do it, the player who made it up gets a letter, just like a traditional game.
Yes.
So we can have an end game. So this is the trick that Steve made up his first week,
which is an inverted orbit. So we'll have a look at this because it's
inverted rolling orbit,
which is fantastic. So, but yeah, let's have a look at this clip.
Crazy. It's hard to even explain.
There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop. see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shady, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, 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 go. Throw shade, that's a no, 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 no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more, more, more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah.
Right? It's hard to even tell what's going on in that.
Oh gosh, you do not want to watch that if you got motion sickness, guys. Like, just letting you know. Oh god, that was incredible. So have you guys done that before, like yourselves? Have you done something similar to that before?
Like, I mean, that's based off a similar rolling inverted orbit trick. Basically, the pole's here, and the drone's kind of looking up at it and going like this. But then he adds in an element where he's also rolling the drone like this. Yeah, and then he changes direction, which is super difficult. And part of the requirement was that you never lose the top of the light in view, which makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, so. Just fantastic skill. Going from that first simple orbit through to that just I think it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm blown away.
The skill that must take to do something like that. How much practice does that sort of thing require then? Like, how long would you practice for?
Well, it really just depends. Some people, like this person who came in second place, Daniel Daylight, none of the other players were able to do the trick perfectly because they lost the thing from, but they got the basic idea of the trick. He's only 14. He's probably been flying for a little over a year, I think.
Okay.
So it's how much like time you put in, like anything.
Of course.
You know, you get your 10,000 hours of experience and be an expert, but something like that, you have to practice. At least I think you should practice on a simulator first.
Yes.
Because if you go out and try to just figure that out with your actual drone, you're going to crash probably before you figure it out.
Absolutely.
Just because it's not intuitive. You have to like move the sticks either away from each other or in towards each other, and like your brain, it doesn't. Most of flying, like your brain can kind of figure out like how it starts to work once you figure out, you know, like riding a bike.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like all backwards and upside down.
No, indeed.
So it goes against your motor skills.
That's one that you gotta like. You just have to like know how to do it.
Trust it almost, yes. But as you said, the simulators are absolutely fantastic for learning that type of thing. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. As I said, we're gonna follow you guys very closely. We'll have you on again soon, especially when this season's coming towards the finals, so we can get an update on how everyone's doing. I think, as I say, it's a fantastic thing from a community point of view, and it's so great to see so many people from around the world embracing flying drones with all the negativity that's out there, the negative press, and how anybody could ever worry about a tiny little whoop like that flying around. It's not going to cause any damage, even if it flew straight into somebody. So it's
that was actually one of the challenges, was run it into somebody's face last season. It's called a face punch.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna try that later.
Part of the community.
Yeah, you have to do it with the drone, not your fist, Lib.
Oh.
What's that?
I was just telling Lib that she has to do a face punch with a drone, not her actual
Does it work if you
fist.
just throw it at them?
I'd accept that.
If you record it, we'll watch it. That's all I'll say.
Watch out for my video, guys.
Yeah, that's Lib's next TikTok, throwing a drone at people in the street.
Face punch.
He told me to do it.
Okay, well, as I said, thank you very much, guys. I've put the links to the FPV Skittles channel in there. They'll all be in the description as well, along with the Google Doc, which is a really well prepared document which explains the rules, explains how to enter and everything else. The deadline for this season is 31st of July, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
And we want to emphasize that most of the tricks, like a gamer, are going to start easy and get more difficult. So just don't. The inverted orbit thing, that's crazy. That's something for the end of the game. Like, if you only can basically fly around, you'll still be able to do a couple of the beginning challenges.
Yeah.
The whole idea is that you play so that you get better, and it challenges you to try new things.
Exactly. And with the horse setup, the whoop word, if there's certain things that you're not so good at, you're not automatically knocked out. You can move on to the following week and be, actually, I can do that. I'm really good at that. Okay. So it's absolutely fantastic. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let me press this.
Yeah, turn the light on.
Okay, there we go.
It was brilliant.
Wasn't that fantastic? And again, thank you to Dan and Liz for coming in. It was absolutely fantastic. I really do appreciate it. Apologies for the little drone video that came in there. Now I've actually got 3 emergency buttons set up, ready to play random drone videos of mine should a technical issue happen. Whereas, because remember last week I was
videos, you know, Sean.
Yeah, if you see a camera drone flying around a castle really slowly, then you know something's gone wrong on the show.
Someone's hamsters have fallen off.
One thing I forgot to mention when at the beginning is you may have noticed that we've redesigned the stream this evening. So we've got a few things changing. There's a few more changes coming up as well. We hope you like the new look. We hope it's working nicely on different devices. Absolutely fantastic.
We haven't had a chance to say hi to anyone, by the way. I'm not using the keyboard the last couple of times because it just doesn't work. I don't
the pop-out chat.
So
yeah, no, indeed. I
am reading you all, and I do say hi to everyone, by the way. I'm not being rude.
Indeed, and on which note, I want to thank the members because I put a test of this stream out as a recorded video for members only on the channel. I just want to thank them for all their feedback. We made a lot of changes that they actually recommended, and we're rolling out some new things that actually were ideas from members themselves. So, such a fantastic, awesome little community. Frankly, it's superb. Okay, shall we have a little rest and watch an awesome video?
Let's do it.
Would you like to see a video of some fireworks?
Yeah, go on then. Are these drones crashing fireworks or? No,
this is a beautiful cinematic masterpiece.
Let's do it.
Which is actually from our friend Ray Hall, or otherwise known as Coolbic. You will see Ray Hall on Those Guys live streams. He's often popping in and out of there. He's a fantastic drone pilot, and he managed to capture some of the July 4th fireworks, which were still going off this year. So let's have a look at that video.
Let's have a look.
Hey there, just your friendly reminder that if you do indeed like the show, you know what to do. Like and subscribe.
Trying.
Do. We appreciate it here until that happens. Hello.
We can hear you.
Press the. Hey, we go.
Are we in?
Okay, we are in, sir. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Again, thanks to Ray Hall for letting us share that video. It's absolutely fantastic. I love firework videos. And what I really loved about that video is he was moving across the water and moving up as it happened. It was such a smooth, yeah, whatever, Andy. It was such a smooth motion as well. So Andy's pretending he's muted, which is just hilarious.
Watch it actually happen now.
Yeah.
Like, stop jinxing it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's no longer funny. Okay, and delete him from stream. Okay.
My anxiety levels go back down.
And anyone that was on the last drone show a couple of weeks ago will remember that we tried to bring Smeghead, as he is over here, in on the live stream, enjoying himself, relaxing in his own little Spain. Yeah. And the drone, the entire stream just exploded. So far, touch wood. So far, it's working. Children,
We should do a thing where we pass a pen to each other next.
Yeah. There's the TikToker for you. But there we go. That's all I'll say. Just very quickly before we launch in and say hi to Andy, I just want to say hi to a few people in the chat. Apologies for not interacting as much in that particular interview, but there's a lot of information to get out there. Really appreciate it. David H. Bunderman, really good to see you, sir. Sunrise Water Media, hello. Droning About Northwest, Russ, hello, sir. Nice to see you. Darren Eleanor, one of Andy's mates, in fact, Smeghead's mates. Agent K, hi. Recovery One Drone, Off-Axis FPV, hello. And Off-Axis FPV and others, thank you for answering some of the questions that people had about FPV. I really, really do appreciate it. It helped us out an awful lot. Rob S has just become a club member. Welcome to the Drone Club, Rob. Thank you so much for joining. There's actually quite a bit of content there already, and we're just organising our first members-only live video meetup where myself and Lib will be hanging out with you guys off air. So it's like, after dark. There's no worrying about YouTube censorship, and we can just chat about anything we want to chat about and have a lot of fun. I'll be hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Because this is the polite Lib online on YouTube. Okay, I have to put her through a process every day to make her appropriate for YouTube. That's all I'll say.
I go through several screenings.
Indeed. So Andy, how are we, sir?
I'm very good, thank you. Considering I am locked in a hotel room
for
7 days.
Indeed. Since we last saw Andy, things have changed a little bit for him. Going from his Spanish holiday in the garden, he has decided to chase an employment opportunity, and well done for doing that, sir. It's fantastic. And has had to move to Guernsey, which is the little island off of the west coast of the UK,
northwest coast of France,
northwest of the UK. It's a beautiful island. It's its own little economy. It's its own little, you have to show your passport going in there and that type of thing. Is it a principality? What does it technically come under?
It's a crown dependency.
That's it. So it governs itself. It has its own laws, that type of thing.
It has its own government,
Beautiful island, but unfortunately it means that Andy has to isolate himself in a hotel room for 7 days to make sure he hasn't got the lurgy.
No, it's to make sure that everyone in the country is trained to deal with him.
Ah, is that it? Is that it?
Wing me in slowly.
Yeah.
They just show a toe, dip a toe in first. Right, this is what he's really like.
And if you could do me a favour, and not wear the Geeksvana t-shirt in public.
Yes.
Due to insurance reasons. Yeah, put a bit of black tape over it. But yes, Matt Preston's in Guernsey, which is absolutely fantastic. So it also means that things are going to be slightly changing for the Smeghead channel as well, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm going to be doing quite a few travel vlogs, like things that are going on in Guernsey. I'm going to do a walk around the entire coast, get some drone footage in from the north side of the island. Mm-hmm. The whole island, because it's so small, is all in controlled airspace. So
that doesn't help.
To ATC.
Yes.
But the north end of the island is it's got some beautiful little coves and beaches up there, and old forts from the war and before. So yeah,
wow.
Hope we get some good footage.
Yeah, and a few of them that you've already put out have been fantastic. You're also bringing some of your, because you're moving more onto the travel with the drone bits in there as well, and obviously always the comedy, of course. You're putting up some of the old ones. You put up your first one from the Dominican, the part 1 of the Dominican Republic visit as well, didn't you?
That was a holiday I went on 5 years ago, and I've just got around to doing the footage for it now.
So that was after 2 pints lager and a packet of crisp, then?
Yeah, that was just after.
Here comes the Will Mellor jokes. Here comes the Will Mellor jokes.
Come on, you've got to. Come on.
He especially in this lighting.
I look like Fat Gaz now when he did that episode of Fat Gaz.
Oh, do you remember that was a great episode, wasn't it? Yeah. We're getting very niche for our US audience here. We think that if you were to Google Will Mellor and 2 pints, it was a very funny comedy show on BBC Three, and we think Andy is the spitting image. Now, it's quite apt, really, that we had the IGOW people on the International Game of Whoop, because, of course, we have a video of Andy's to play, and it is him flying a whoop.
Ooh.
So should we give that a little play? Shall we?
Look at his whoop.
A quarantined whoop.
On that note, I'm going to play the video.
Well, I've been in this hotel just under 24 hours now, and I'm bored already. So I think it's time to tiny whoop. Oops.
Oops. I like the oops there.
I've got so many things for gags for whoop.
I know, right?
Like, I can't say that one. No,
Yeah.
that's not really appropriate. I won't say that one. I'll just sit here.
Yeah,
you guys carry on.
We'll save those for the members meetup.
Yeah, that's it. I'll write them down now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, how are you feeling? So how many days of isolation are you in now?
I got here Monday, so this is my 3rd day so far. It's a struggle trying to find things to entertain myself. I've got the tiny whoop, I've got the Mavic Mini as well, but I'm not going to stand that up. But one thing they do have in Guernsey, which is quite a rarity, on the hotel TV, they've got a special show, Dance with Lib.
Oh my days! What is that?
It's a special channel in Guernsey. It's a channel in Guernsey called Dance with Lib.
That's fantastic.
It's very popular, apparently.
Well, it's about time. It's about time. She's already got all these tens of thousands of followers on TikTok. Which, by the way, I've just dropped into the chat how you can see more Lib on TikTok and Instagram with the Libbery_X username. But that's fantastic. Now, again, this isn't late enough, and younger people watch this, but there's something about the TV position to the bed there I'm slightly concerned about, Andy.
Yeah, it is. Directly opposite the bed.
Well,
is that a sheep?
Pardon?
We both spotted it.
Yeah, a little inflatable sheep there. Never hurt anyone.
No, it's a money box. I picked it up from the airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that, Beb.
Just for company. It's true. It's even got a little slot you can put the coins in at the bottom.
Oh dear.
£10. £10 that cost me.
Where's right? I've got this. I've got my channel of.
Did you miss us?
Whoops! Which I just hit one of those buttons by mistake. But I've got my little panel of buttons here, and I haven't got the emergency Andy button. Where is it? The Andy. Yeah, I need an Andy emergency button to save stream here. Now
I got that the day before I flew over.
Oh, fantastic!
Delivery. Please get it here for the.
Get it here quick. I have something to play for Lib actually as well, which it would be good to get your opinion on this, Andy, which is an old American advert which Kelly from Ready Set Drone actually put us on to. Yes, so
about Libby on the table.
Indeed, let's play this out because this is actually when Kelly Shaw's of Ready Set Drone, who was on Tuesday night with us, when he met Lib, and I kept calling her Libby for some bizarre reason. He said, "Oh, it reminds me of Libby." Well, yeah, but you know, everything's Lib. I decided to call her Libby. So let's have a listen.
When it says Libby's on the label, you will like it on your table.
Libby's doesn't just call their hash home style. They make it that way, with big, lean chunks of corned beef, potatoes, and special seasonings hash lovers love. Like all Libby's canned meats, definitely worth singing about.
You will like it.
You like Libby's.
Libby on the table.
We need.
That's my new one. That is. I'm going to jump on the table on my next TikTok.
There we go. We need to see a TikTok or two with that. We need to get you like green screened into where the little kid is with a red baseball bat on. Yeah. Please, that would be hilarious. I think it was actually people of a certain generation will be able to tell us in the chat if we have viewers, but I believe it's food, canned food like Spam, but it's of different types. When I first watched that, I was a bit like, because I didn't think it was cooked. I thought they were showing it like starting to cook, and then he ate it, and I thought that's raw, isn't it? Surely that's raw.
It could be a Libby for all we know. I mean, it looks like it's pink and jellified, so, you know, rough approximation of a human being.
Oh, it's harsh.
That's what I say to myself when I look in the mirror, Sean.
Oh, that's very harsh.
Fighting talk.
So how many? So I actually missed how many days you've got left in isolation.
I've got another 4 days left in isolation.
Thanks for reminding me, Sean.
Then I'm moving to the staff accommodation.
Okay.
But I've still got to isolate for another 7 days, so it is actually 2 weeks.
Oh wow! So it's proper isolation for a week.
But it's just mandatory. You're in this room. You can't go out.
Yeah.
For 7 days. Wow. Then I get tested on the 7th day. If it's negative, then I've got to isolate in the staff accommodation for another 7 days. So it's still 2 weeks at the end.
Crikey! What happens if you get positive? Do they put you on a plane back?
Yeah. I'm slowly running out of bubble wrap. You know, when I get to the end of this sheet, that's it. I'm just going to go absolutely crazy. And I'm so tempted to do that thing where you wrap it up like that and do 50 at a time, but
don't use them up. Yeah. Well, what exactly? What are you going to do the rest of the week? Hi to Matt from Mr. MPW. Thank you so much for the £10 super chat. He says, evening all, hope you're well. Miss chatting to you tonight, Sean. Yes, I miss chatting to you as well, sir. Matt runs a live stream which is normally on before us. And I always pop in to do a little bit of drone news and have a little chat about general aviation with him as well. And he's decided, like we are actually, to go every other week. So I think it's actually going to suit well because it'll be the week we're not on, which is quite good. So
someone
that would be
asked
quite
me
cool.
if my name is short for Elizabeth. It's not. It is just Libby. I'm odd like that. Fun fact, if you want to know, when I was born, I was. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I was born.
Exclusive.
And I was named Rudolph.
Excuse me?
When I was born, I was named Rudolph.
Was it Christmas?
I'm just processing that.
Yeah.
Did they actually birth certificate name you Rudolph? Did your parents not like you?
Yeah, to be fair, no.
Okay.
That's a running theme, though, so...
That probably explains it. Did you ever get an explanation?
Forceps to get me out. That'll explain my ears.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with your ears, Andy. Did you ever get an explanation of why you were called Rudolph?
A lot of painkillers and close to Christmas.
You know those little rabbit holes that you go down?
Yeah.
And there's little conversations and you sort of, okay, I'm going to turn back now. I'm going to come back out the rabbit hole.
You can't rewind the live stream.
Hey, I'm definitely going to call you Lib from now on. I'm not going to forget your name now. That's my lesson learned. One very quick thing, because I can see a lot of them in the chat today, so I want to give a very quick shout out. Andy, you're going to disappear for a second, but don't go anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, you are there in the corner. That didn't work. Never mind. I want to give a very quick shout out to our recent members who have joined: John Valentinetti, Philip Koshat, Paul Murray, Matt Preston, Brody Hugar, Vow's Life, aka Puddles PV, Jay Santiago, and Mike Drennan. Just a few that have joined recently. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it, and it's a fantastic little small group that we're building, and we're putting more and more content out, which is going to obviously entertain you all. Yes, we've got some fun ideas as that grows on. So thank you to the early members. I really do appreciate it. It is absolutely fantastic.
Could I ask, when are we going to see Lib fly a tello?
Yeah, I know. That's got to go on our... Are we doing that members only, Sean?
Oh, we might do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We might do.
Because I'm so bad at it. I don't think it's worthy of the channel.
The main channel. Oh no.
Embarrass myself in a small group first.
Exactly.
Andy.
We might preview it on the members channel and then play it on the future live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. But yeah, hi Legwork, good to see you, sir. My twin. Poor Legwork to look like this, but never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, you do look similar.
So do you have any other plans to? And again, remember this is PG-13 to while away the next 4 days.
I've got a lot because I'm going to be driving a bus in Guernsey. I have got a lot of routes to learn.
Wowzers!
Around the island. Sorry, what was that, Liv?
No, I was just saying. Oh, that's cool. So, are you gonna? Do you have to memorize, literally memorize them, or?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
There's 20 routes that'll be driving. But I have been here before, about 10 years ago, doing the same job for about 2 years before I came back to the UK. So I've just come over where the work is.
Yeah, of course.
Ross from Droning About Northwest just said, Lib doesn't need a drone. From what I hear, she herself is able to fly and does all round the world at Christmas Eve.
I'm trying to say anything now.
The Rudolph thing might stick, I'm afraid. Okay. Okay, Andy. Well, thank you very much for joining us, sir. I wanted to get you back on because, the disaster that happened last time. I just wanted to show everybody else that it's okay to have El Smeghead on your live stream. He'll even wear your T-shirt. He'll even wear your T-shirt. He'll come branded and make Lib jealous.
Yeah, I know. Still waiting, Sean.
I know, they're ordered.
Get these on the merch.
Some of the viewers want them too.
Yeah, the merch is coming very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy. Well, we'll see you very, very soon. So good luck in the next 4 days, and everybody
head over
to El Smeghead so that you can see the travel vlogs. See you soon, brother.
Cheers.
Oh, that was fantastic. He's such a laugh, isn't he?
Yeah, I like him. We bounce off each other, but that could go bad.
that could go above PG-13, I think. Yes, yeah, quite easily.
So what's up next, Sean?
We have another viewer video from Mr. Crowley and his drone, and this is one to chill out. Coming towards the end of the show, this is one to chill out, get a bit more serene with, breathe, and remember when we could go and relax on beaches.
That's right.
I said beaches.
watching the show.
We have some new Libby Easter eggs in case you didn't guess. Yeah. I'm overusing those this evening, but hey, it's my show. What can I say? So I just want to give a very quick shout out to Ken Heron this evening, Thursday Night Live. He'll be going live at 1 a.m. in the UK time, which is 7 p.m. Central, which is obviously the most awesome drone show in the world. Tonight, his special guest is Nurk, who is the FPV world champion, and it's Ashley is his co-host. But it's a bit of a FPV theme running through the Thursday evening shows tonight, although that wasn't planned, of course.
To be fair, I found them really interesting. I think that might be, it's a bit more complicated than learning on something like that, but I think that would be the next step, maybe. To
Definitely. I'm more tempted. I think Dan's explanation of what the whoop was and everything, and how it's different to FPV, where the duct is, etc. I think I really enjoyed that. That was a really well made explanation, frankly.
Well, like you said before, Sean, it's really easy to get mixed up with all the jargon, especially for someone who doesn't understand at all, who's brand new to
That's
it, like
right.
I was when we first started working together. I'm slowly picking up through people explain it to me in layman's terms. So much easier to understand and not feel intimidated, because I think that's the thing with newbies, is it's such an intimidating community to come into, even though everyone's lovely. You want to be seen to know what you're on about at the same time.
Exactly. It would help, but that's why we brought you in as well, so that it's someone that's learning, and so we've got people from every angle, which is fantastic.
It's brilliant.
And just a very quick catch up with the chat. Hi Ray Kelly, great to see you. Love my drones. I did see you sneak in there. Hi there. Agent K, thank you for getting my beaches joke, although not many people did. It has to be said.
Crazy.
Them beaches be crazy. But there we go. Captured Live Connection. Hi, sir. Good to see you as well. Okay, well, that is basically the end of the show. I want to thank everybody very much for coming along and joining us. I cannot thank you enough. We put a lot of time and effort into this show, and the fact that when we press the blue button, there are people here watching is absolutely fantastic. We really we really do appreciate it, and it's what keeps us coming back. So the drone show will be back on 2 weeks time, so that'll be on the 23rd of July. There'll be more changes coming, more improvements coming. We've got all sorts of different bits and pieces happening, as well as some really great guests coming up as well.
Yeah.
So that just leaves Libby to say goodbye. And we'll see you all next time.
I'll see you all soon, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe and stay sane with everything that's going on at the minute. But thank you to all of our guests. It's been incredible to kind of get to know a wider community from different aspects of droning as well. So
absolutely.
We're learning things as we go along, guys, so bear with.
See you all soon.
Bye. All you want is my hunger. All you need is my pain. Nothing in between, never met you lost. When you were born there was thunder, fire lit in the sky as to lead astray. Now heavy rain pours out of you and me. Come back, rain. Come and ease this obsession. Full force dispossess. Come and quiet this aggression. If we met in a year or two, would you set your eyes on me? Wear your heart on your sleeve. Nothing in between. Oh, come back, caress. Come and ease this obsession. Full force dispossess. Come and quiet this aggression. Some say
store. Until next week, of course. Anyway, if you don't mind picking up your popcorn box, sir, I'd really appreciate you putting it in the bin. Yes, and your crisp packet, madam. I clean up after these boys. I don't need to clean up after you guys too. Bye!